What's going on YouTube? My name is GinJTCG or Chris, and today I'm back with another Pokemon deck video, and this one revolves around Archaludon EX, piloted by Yoda Wakai, who won the Champions League. I'm playing his 60 because I am a huge fan of Archaludon. It was one of my favorite cards when it came out, and Dialga VSTAR is also what I always believed was one of the most underrated VSTAR attackers, so having Archaludon with the Assemble Alloy ability to power up your Dialga seems like an amazing way to abuse Star Chronos, where you can skip your opponent's next turn. You got Metal Blast for 40 damage, doing 40 more for each metal energy attached to this Pokemon. So if you can power up Star Chronos, you're already swinging, I'm pretty sure base like 240, which is kind of just insane. One extra energy, you're swinging V-Star damage, 280 on Regidrago V-Stars, Lugia V-Stars, you name it. You can get after Charizards with a few extra energy, and you have access to Archaludon as an attacker as well. With Metal Defender, you're swinging 220, and this opponent is not weak to any Pokemon during the next turn, so Radiant Charizard won't be one-shotting it. And you also get access to Relicanth with the Memory Dive ability. Each of your evolved Pokemon can use attacks from its previous evolution, so Archaludon can use Raging Hammer from the Duraludon, where you do 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So if you have 250 damage done to you, you can do 10 damage for each of those, so 250 plus 80, and swing for some massive damage that way. So this deck is honestly insane. I love how simple it is. But before I get into how the rest of the deck works, I just wanted to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone out there. I know I celebrate Christmas, so I know everyone doesn't, so I just want to say Happy Holidays. And if you do celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas to you and Happy Holidays. I hope that this season you are spending as much time as you can with family, friends, and just having a good time. And I know I haven't been recording as much, and I think it's because I've been doing the same. As you can see, this isn't my normal background. Last video wasn't my normal background. I was at my girlfriend's house in the last video spending time with her family. Now I'm back at my dad's place spending time with my family. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who supports the channel. That has been the best Christmas gift to me, so thank you to just sticking around and watching some videos, or if this is your first video, thanks for pulling up. I hope you stick around. It's definitely a fun time, and thank you to just everyone in general. Hope you guys have a happy holidays. Anyways, jumping into today's video, Archaludon, Dialga I covered a bit, Relicanth I covered a bit. Past that, there's really no attackers in the deck. We got Greninja and Fezandipiti as a draw engine. Greninja's nice because we can discard an energy to draw 2 cards, and then Archaludon's ability, which I don't think I explained too in depth, you take 2 basic metal energies from your discard pile and attach them to your metal Pokemon in any way you want. So Greninja is kind of the perfect partner for Archaludon, and it makes sense why it was comboed in this deck. In terms of the supporter count, we are playing an insanely high research count again, just to make sure we're getting the energy in the discard pile. We got 4 research, 2 Turo, 3 Iono, 3 boss, 1 Thorton. Thorton is honestly a super underrated tech card in this deck. I mean, just the ability to kind of switch out even a Greninja for a Duraludon or Dialga and then kind of reset it up is insane. So I do love Thorton in this list. I think that's super smart by Yoda to run that. I love that there's 3 Iono, 3 boss. I like the hand disruption and the high gust count. I mean, we got 1 counter catcher as well, but this deck, you kind of need to get after it quick. This deck does have some rough matchups, so just to be able to gust for, you know, like 2 prize and take those big KOs that way, and kind of take the KOs on what you need, especially when you've got Star Chronos. If you can take a KO with Star Chronos and then gust up a different Pokemon, go for essentially a 4 prize card turn, it feels really, really good. So, especially when you're going into Charizard. I think Charizard is one of the rougher matchups for this deck. It always kind of has been. And you want to play around that Briar Dusknoir combo. So, when you use Star Chronos, you actually don't want to use it immediately. You want to use it after you've taken 2 prize cards. That way, you can either take 4 prize cards for game, or you can take 3 prize cards so your opponent can't Dusknoir or Briar. I think that's kind of the way you navigate that Charizard matchup. And other matchups kind of follow that similar line. I think Raging Bull often plays Briar, so, you know, just kind of waiting until you take 2 prize cards and then going Gust KO on Ogerpon, Gust KO on Fezandipiti, or something like that for a 4 prize card turn is your best friend. So it's going to be difficult to navigate, but I think a ton of fun once you figure it out. Scoop Up Cyclone is the A-spec in Yoda's list. I think that is super epic. I know a lot of people are playing Energy Switch Pro, so to be able to have Scoop Up Cyclone to just kind of full heal all of your Pokemon, you know, one of your Pokemon, not all your Pokemon, one of your Pokemon in play, by just picking everything up and then resetting it, is kind of huge. And by resetting it, I mean, like, let's say you pick up a Dialga with some damage done to it, you can play the Dialga V, promote a different attacker, and then you kind of reset that Dialga. You can work on evolving it and then setting up the energy again, because it can swing for some massive damage in a deck like this. We're not playing really any recovery, I noticed, in his list, and I guess you really don't need to. I mean, we've got high counts of the Pokemon we need. If we're getting rid of a Greninja, Relicanth, or Fezandipiti, we probably should have put it on the bench. In terms of the energy, we really don't need much energy recovery. I mean, excuse me, I know we play 4 Night Stretcher. I'll jump into that for the Pokemon, but the Night Stretchers are usually going to be for like the 1 energy. Actually, wait, why did I say that? There's 4 Night Stretcher. That's plenty of recovery. I don't know why I was just thinking Rod is recovery. Anyways, I'm a bum. I apologize. You know, we don't have an insane amount of recovery. Generally, when you're drawing into these 3 Pokemon, you're playing them, so you really don't have to worry about recovering it. Maybe Fez is the only one you discard if it's early, so your opponent doesn't have a 2-prize KO. But you can pull it back with your Night Stretchers. I don't know why I was so stuck on Rod being like the recovery option. Oftentimes, if you have too many energy in the discard pile and you don't have one to manual attach, like for Archaludon, you want to use the ability and then manual attach the 3rd energy, and then boom, you're swinging. You have the Night Stretcher to just pull back 1 energy, and that's kind of going to be your whole recovery line. Past that, we got 2 Turos, kind of doubling on that Scoop Up Cyclone play, where if you were damaged from an attack, you can kind of just full heal your Pokemon by picking it up, resetting it, and then also hopefully getting access to Archaludon's ability if you actually use Turo and Archaludon, and kind of looping multiple Archaludon abilities on double Duraludons, if you only have 1, which is kind of sweet. We've also got, what else didn't I mention? I don't believe. Pal Pad kind of makes sense. You know, if we discard a bunch of supporters with research or something like that, maybe an Ultra Ball, you know, we could kind of bring back some Gust or some Ionos, maybe some Turos if that's something we think we're really going to need. Jamming Tower is kind of sweet, shutting down Forest Seal Stone, because a lot of decks are running Arven, Forest Seal Stone combos, so just shutting down all the tools, especially in the early game, is going to feel great. And I think past that, I mean, yeah, everything else is pretty self-explanatory. You got Vessel to find energy, Counter Catcher I mentioned, Pokégear, find your supporters. Generally, playing supporters feels pretty good. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the list. I was super stoked that this deck won, so I was really happy to show it off. And I know it's not a Christmassy deck. I really don't know many Christmas Pokemon. I mean, there's like Iron Bundle, but you know, Iron Bundle and Delibird, but I don't know a deck that uses those. So if you have an idea for like a Christmas or winter holiday Pokemon, definitely let me know. But I was like, I don't totally know what to play. I had this deck list. I wanted to play it. It won a massive tournament. I feel like I needed to shout it out, just because I love Archaludon and Dialga. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just play this for the day. And I know this video isn't coming up on Christmas at least, but I'm recording it on Christmas, which is why I'm stuck on like the whole holiday thing. So anyways, enough with me yapping. For now, all I just want to say before I get into the video, if you haven't seen my TCG player affiliate link is in the description down below. If you click on it and order stuff within 48 hours, you're supporting the channel, and TCG player has all of the stuff for any TCG game pretty much ever. I mean, cards, singles, decks, deck boxes, play mats, you know, whatever, you name it. It's on TCG player. Go support, go use TCG player through the link and support the channel, and thank you so much for just tuning in. With that being said, enough of me yapping. Let's get into Dialga Archaludon and show off how well this deck can do. Welcome to match number 1. I did choose to go first just because we have a lot of evolving to do, so if I could get that out of the way early, that would feel great, and then I could attack as soon as possible. In this hand, it's not awful, to be fair. Like, I can rock with it. Double Dialga, double Duraludon. I don't know who the best lead is. I guess Dialga. I hate to kind of throw a 2-prizer up there if I don't have to, but actually, we'll see what my opponent's playing. They are playing No Shot. It's a mirror match. Mirror match in match number 1. Yo, Yoda has inspired the people with this list, and I love it. All right, so I'm definitely feeling a little bit more comfortable knowing this is a mirror, and they're hopefully not taking a massive donk. I don't know about many Duraludon or Archaludon decks that are, and that makes my hand feel a good bit better, I'm not going to lie. Also, Star Chronos, definitely going to be big here. I'm definitely liking that ability. Actually, you know what? That kind of hurts getting an Archaludon there. I'm just going to bench everything, pass it on over to my opponent. I wish I had some energy and a research in my hand to go for a massive Archaludon play after. I don't, sadly. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm probably going to evolve Dialga VSTAR to the active and then just rip the Iono. And hopefully I can get something a little bit more playable, but Archaludon is their active, so if I don't swing into it, they shouldn't be KOing with the Raging Hammer, and they're actually just going to use the top attack hammer and get some damage done early, which I respect. That's kind of smart, I guess. We get 1 energy there. It's not going to save us too much. I'm not going to evolve Archaludon. I want to use it when I'm getting access to the ability. So for now, I think all I want to do is run energy on Dialga and just give the Iono. You know, give my opponent and I just a new hand. Let's reset ourselves a little bit, and hopefully we can get something a bit better here. And this actually doesn't feel too bad. I mean, we don't get access to any Archaludons this turn, which does kind of hurt. If I use Metal Blast, they actually would not be doing much damage to us. All right, that's fine. So we're going to get rid of Pokégear because we have a research in hand. We're going to take 2 energies. I actually could bench Fez, and I could bench Radiant Greninja. Actually, you know what? If we get, not this guy, if we get a, what do you call it, Ultra Ball or Archaludon off of Radiant Greninja, we'd actually be in a huge spot. I'm not going to lie. We don't have access to Relicanth yet. I maybe overbenched a little bit. Should have waited. Maybe that second Dialga wasn't needed, but it's not the end of the world. I'll use that later if I need to, and that's actually massive. I'm not going to lie. So we can evolve Archaludon here. We can assemble Alloy, throw 2 energy down on our Dialga, and take a KO on my opponent's only attacking Pokemon. And that's kind of the power this deck has. I mean, look, swinging 160, it's not like it's the most game-breaking damage this turn, but you do get access to some good plays if your opponent has a rough setup like that one. You know, now we're going to be super ahead, because now they got to take a turn. They got to get a couple Dialgas, a couple Duraludons in play just to get ready to evolve and attack. And I think that is, I guess, one of the things that holds the deck back. But if you have a setup like ours where it's not even perfect, like I don't even think our setup was phenomenal, and I might have had the small misplay with this Dialga, like we could still get after it and run into some huge plays, especially if we could use this Pokégear for a gust, like a boss's orders. You know, like there's a good chance we could pull off a Star Chronos and to go for a 3-4 prize card turn, especially with Fezandipiti in the active. So I'm excited. I'm very curious to see how this one's going to run for us, but I think we've got a good shot at taking a 4 prize card turn. If we could just get 1 Archaludon, maybe we Radiant Greninja, just get an energy. We just need 1 energy and discard for Archaludon, because then we attach the manual energy, assemble Alloy for 1, and we've already got Star Chrono. So if they don't retreat or anything like that, we're going to feel pretty solid, and they just pass. So yeah, I'm definitely trying to push a 4 prize card turn. And Night Stretcher isn't going to save us too much. I'm actually probably going to get rid of that. Do I Pokégear first? I think Research is going to be our best friend. So I could Pokégear, maybe thin out a different supporter from the deck. Just because, what am I looking for? Yeah, because I'm looking for a Duraludon or Ultra Ball. I'll thin out a Research. I'm going to need a lot less Research. And thank gosh I did, actually, because it would have been Research Boss. Unless actually those were playable. Never mind, I have no idea what the order was. We're gonna concealed cards now. I wanted to thin out 1 more card just so I had a better chance of getting Archaludon. It doesn't seem I'm gonna get that lucky, so I'm just gonna attach the energy here, rip the Research, and hopefully off this Research I'll be able to draw into something huge, and that is gonna do it for us. We're gonna get 2 energy here. I'm actually tempted. Where do I throw that second energy? I might even throw it on an active Dialga, right? No. Do I have a boss in hand? I don't think I do. I do not. Okay. So I'm not going to be able to dig. I could start Chronos. I could concealed cards too because I have a Night Stretcher in hand. That actually feels pretty good. I'm going to attach the energy to an Archaludon. I don't hate Archaludon in a match like this. I mean, it's swinging for good damage. It's kind of what we need. I'm rocking with it. And then from here, we can Star Chronos. So maybe I could Ultra Ball too. Just thin the hand down a little bit. Like, we could get rid of these guys. I could always Night Stretcher or Turo. Like, I could get the evolutions back easier, I think. So I'm just going to thin 1 more Dialga out of the deck. Evolve this guy. I just want to thin it as much as I can. So hopefully the Star Chronos, I top deck boss's orders. I really want to go for the prize card, 4 prize card turn. So here's the Star Chronos. We're falling down to 3 prize cards. I'm not too worried about Archaludon playing Briar. So that's hopefully not something I have to worry about. I like getting the energy there. That's something I can concealed cards away. And now it's our turn again. So I kind of need this concealed cards to get me boss's orders. If I can do that, I'm home free for the rest of the match. Sadly, I cannot. But it's not the end of the world. I think we're still in a pretty fine spot. I could hold the energy, play the energy. I think the safest play for us is just throw it on Archaludon. Just set up a nice backup attacker in the background. And probably swing Metal Blast 240. See what my opponent has in response to this. I think feels pretty good. And now we've just got 2 prize cards left. So if my opponent promotes a Dialga VSTAR, we can get after that guy. It should be pretty straightforward to set up a Dialga V to KO. I mean, we're doing 240. If we just, I don't know, maybe I should have Turo just to pick that guy up. And then I could have used the ability again. Actually, I don't even need to. I can just use Night Stretcher, take the energy, manual attach, or swing and KO. So that should be plenty to close out the game. If my opponent promotes Archaludon, we do need 2 energy down, which isn't the end of the world. It's still pretty manageable. It might be a little bit harder because I don't have an Archaludon ability I could use. So maybe I could go for... I don't know what. Actually, I guess it doesn't even matter. If I two-shot something, I two-shot something. It's not the end of the world. They're going to Scoop Up Cyclone. Yeah, they're literally playing Yoda's build as well. I kind of love that, actually. It's literally a Yoda... oh my gosh, I forgot his last name. That's awful. I wrote it down, luckily, though, because I knew I'd forget. Yoda Wakai. It's a Yoda Wakai match versus a Yoda Wakai match, and there is the research. They're going to see if they can pull the double Archaludon ability. They are going to get the Night Stretcher down. They can run Fezandipiti. They'll be drawing a massive hand. There's not much I can do about it, to be honest. I really don't think it's going to be likely I could KO an Archaludon, although they played research. If they start Chronos, actually, I guess we would be in a trickier spot because I'd have to go Archaludon as my backup attacker. I didn't really set up a Dialga because I knew I didn't have access to another Archaludon ability. You know what? It's not the end of the world. I could even Night Stretcher manual attach, and then try to Night Stretcher and energy again, and just dig for research one more time. Because if I could just go gust up Fezandipiti, like we play a high count of boss, and we've got what, 0 boss? Yeah, we got no boss in the discard pile, so I do feel pretty good about digging one out. Although we're not drawing an insane amount of cards. We got access to Greninja, we got access to Fezandipiti, and then top decks. We got access to 6 cards next turn, which isn't bad. It's not bad at all. Sorry, my cat is near me. She's exploring around my dad's apartment. I did bring Happy up to his place as well. So she's just kind of walking around, figuring out what's what. And my opponent is, there it is. They got the Star Chronos play. They're most likely going to use that. I think they kind of need to take 2 prizes this turn. Unless they got Counter Catcher. If they could Counter Catcher Fez and then Star Chronos for 4 prize cards, that would actually be insane. And I'd be in a really, really difficult spot if they were able to pull that off. And that's what's awesome about this deck, is like we're so ahead, but they have such a good 4 prize card play laid out for them that like if they pull that off, honestly, I have no idea how we're supposed to respond. So even though this deck, like, you know, you jump super far ahead, you can look at them, they still have insane comeback potential. Luckily, we're gonna dodge that a little bit. They weren't able to gust, so they have to use the Metal Blast either on the active, or they're gonna gust to someone else up and take another prize card, leaving us with Dialga, which would feel best for us, because Dialga is the easiest thing to one-shot their Dialga with. So I don't think we're in a bad spot since they missed that gusting option. I really don't know why I put that other Dialga down. I should have left that bench space there for literally anyone else. I knew they were playing Archaludon too. That was a little dumb of me, but it's not the end of the world. They got the Archaludon, they got 2 energy in discard. They're still gonna be running. They got energy set up. They will be good to go. Oh man, yeah, they're gonna have a solid setup here. Okay, so I'm curious to see how we close this one out. We kind of need boss's orders here if we want to close out this game easily. The longer we wait, the more stressful this game is gonna get. 2-shotting Dialga is not the end of the world, but it definitely gives my opponent some chance to make a solid comeback on us. So they got 7 energy attached. Oh yeah, they're swinging big with this Dialga. They're putting their heart and soul into it, and I love it. They're gonna Iono us, which honestly I am fine with. I just need to dig a little bit deeper to look for that boss's order. Sadly, we did not get it, and I could Vessel to dig out an energy, but I actually don't want to shuffle the deck because they Iono'd a bunch of cards to the bottom. So theoretically, if I use Flip the Script, I should have the best chance of finding a boss's orders. If I don't get it off Flip the Script, then I will, what do you call it? Oh, wait, actually, no, because they took the KO. What was I thinking? Oh, yeah, no, because I'm going for boss's orders. If they don't flip this, whoa, wait, okay. Too many words, too many thoughts, not enough English. We're going to flip the script. The deck is in shuffle. Look for boss. If we don't get it off Flip the Script, then I'm going to Vessel and try to dig a little bit deeper for the energy, and we just get Scoop Up Cyclone. So I don't think, yeah, I can't use more than one. Oh, man. More than one ability this turn. This isn't good. I was like, oh, I could Scoop Up Cyclone, Fezandipiti, draw 6. I actually can't. That is not how it works. So we're just going to draw 3 here, and hopefully we get boss's orders energy. That's actually insane. Alright, definitely not complaining. I will take my luck. I will take my holiday luck. We'll KO the Fezandipiti, go for 6 prize cards. We are going to win the 1v1 against another Yoda Archaludon stick. So that was an epic match number 1. Definitely pretty happy with the performance. I mean, we kind of got after early. Relicanth was prized, actually. So I was thinking I could have benched it instead. Couldn't have done that at all. I never even prize checked. We definitely got after it early. I'm very stoked that we were able to kind of stay ahead, run a solid Star Chronos play. Even if we only took 3 prize cards and not 4, it kind of evened out our prize card math since we did take the 1 early on. So overall, solid performance. Let's jump into match number 2 and see how well we can do with Yoda's list. Welcome to match number 2, and before I get into it, I just wanted to say I changed the fit. I was out with my family, so I'm back, finishing the recording now, and we're up against Radiant Greninja, which doesn't tell me anything. That could literally be any deck under the sun. I think the most important thing for us is to probably get rid of a diagonal here. I mean, we got 2 of them. Might as well take 2 metal energy. And then I can Ultra Ball. And what am I going to Ultra Ball away? I don't hate getting rid of Counter Catcher. I'm scared it's like a Raging Bolt deck. If they get a Donk, that's going to be devastating. So I kind of want to get down a Duraludon. Maybe I get rid of Iono Night Stretcher here. And then next turn I can research or Counter Catcher depending on what the play is. If I get, I mean, losing to Iono kind of hurts, but it's not the end of the world. I'd rather, I don't know, I'd rather have research, because if they get down to a tiny hand, I'd rather have the research. If they have a small hand or a big hand and wanted to Iono them, it's like, it's whatever at this point. There's really not much I could do with a hand like this. And then I think here the best play for us might actually be to just hold the hand. I could probably attach 1 energy and then pass. I mean, we'll still research away 1 energy, so we'll still get some value out of an Archaludon if we could pull it off. If my opponent donks a Dialga, we'll still have 2 energy and discard to use Duraludon. So it's not the end of the world. They're going to Precious Draw here. So it's going to tell us everything I need to know about what they're playing. They get the whole bench down, which is good. They got, oh my gosh, stop playing. They got Scovelane. They're going to be running Scovelane EX with Frostless. That's actually kind of epic. I kind of love that. At least I think it's Scovelane EX. I really don't know of any others. I'm curious to see if it's the fire type one or the grass type one. They've been the fire energy, so I'm leaning towards that, but the grass one is actually super fun to use too. Actually, you know what? Archaludon is going to be our best friend in this matchup, because if we could use Archaludon EX's attack, we could prevent all weakness. So if they use the fire type one, we'll prevent them from doing ×2 damage with the fire attackers, and if it's the grass one, all metal Pokemon resist grass by 30 damage, so we'll take 30 less damage from their attacks, which also feels great. So I don't really think there's like a lose-lose here. And they're going TM Evo, so this is great. I could kind of see exactly what my opponent's doing. To be honest, I don't remember what either Scovelane does perfectly. I know the fire one is what, a fire and a grass attacker, its ability, and the grass one, I believe, mills a card from the top of your opponent's deck and one from their hand, and it's actually the fire one where it says this Pokemon is a fire and grass attacker, so that's kind of epic. I kind of love that. I'm curious if we resist it or take weakness damage, though. I've never actually, I don't know if anyone's ever had that interaction before. We're going to research here. I'd rather have 2 energy and discard. I'm sure we could find another, use that one to manual attach it, and we're actually not able to. Okay. For now, we'll evolve Archaludon. We can make this work. We're going to take 2 energy, attach them to Dialga. I'm going to bench Radiant Greninja in case my opponent plays Iono. I'm not going to play Relicanth just yet. Spicy Rage actually, okay, so they are going to be swinging for big damage, but if we could stop the weakness, we are going to do a lot of work. So I kind of don't want to get rid of Relicanth. I think here I'm actually going to get rid of Thorton and Dialga. And I'm going to take a Dialga VSTAR. Just start swinging hard into a Greninja. They need 2 energy down. I don't know of a way they're going to accelerate 2 fire energy in 1 turn, so I'd rather just, actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to bench Relicanth just yet. I'm going to hold it in my hand. I'm going to swing 160, take the KO on Greninja, go up 1 prize, and hopefully get an early enough lead where I can follow through and maybe take a bigger prize card turn at some point, go for a big Star Chronos. If I could take down another single prizer, kind of set myself up for a Star Chronos the turn after, like take a 1 prize KO here, then Star Chronos 2, use Metal Blast for 4, so I could take a 4 prize card turn after my next attack, and they are going to evolve all types of Pokemon and use Forest Seal Stone. So we'll see if they could get Fire Energy set up, or if they have to take 2 turns, which I'm hoping is what they have to do to set up. Although if they do that, Dialga would be in trouble because it is weak to fire. Oh, this is a mess. But you know what? Of all fire attackers, this one's probably the best to be weak to because they don't have any damage on them, so they would just be doing 10 damage. And they're going to be doing insane damage after we attack them. But as long as we wait a turn... Oh, actually, no, because they'll take one from Frostlass. Actually, oh my gosh, wait, yeah, no, they would be swinging for KO because they literally have one Frostlass in play. Because right now they're doing 10. Oh my god, this is a mess, actually. Yeah, this is bad. Okay, this got a lot more dangerous than I had hoped. A lot quicker. So... what do I want to do here? I kind of want to go for Boss's Order, see if I can boss up this Frostlass, and then I could use that as my single prize KO. The best way to dig for that is to Ultra Ball. We want to get rid of probably Night Stretcher. I'll check how many cards we got in the discard pile. We got 1, so we should have 2 left. So I'll get rid of these. I want to keep the Turo in case I need to full heal. That would be great. I'm going to take Duraludon. I feel like it's a good attacker to have. And then we are going to Concealed Cards and then Pokégear. We're swinging for KO and Frostlass, and that's kind of who I want to chase down right here. And we get double boss off that. That's insane. Alright, this is literally the perfect card to draw into. A swing 320. I got Pokégear for next turn. And next turn, hopefully, I can get a Research or Iono, something like that, and that can allow me to get 2 energy and play off Archaludon's evolution. And then take a big KO on Scoveland. Right now, they are swinging, what, 140, 150? Or no, they're swinging 70 because they didn't take the 20 damage. So they're swinging 80 times 2. We're actually going to see one of the craziest interactions ever. How this works with resistance and weakness. Do we take the resistance first or the weakness first? That actually changes the math greatly. If we take the resistance first, right now they're doing 80 damage, so then it would be bumped down to 50, and then the times 2 multiplier would put it at 100. If we take the 100 damage, or the 80 damage first, the weakness, excuse me, it would take 160 because of the weakness, and then minus 30, so it would be taking 130 damage. So I'm actually really curious to see what the priority is on weakness or resistance. This is definitely the craziest match we could have ran into. Oh no, I lied. They're KOing us. Damage pump. I was doing math in my head. I forgot about looking at the game. Oh, this is bad. This is very, very bad. Okay. What do I do here? I have to hope they do the resistance first, and we can live the weakness attack. Although I have a feeling it's going to be the weakness first because it's on the left side of the card. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that's going to be enough, and we are going to live with 10 HP. Oh my god. Well, that's insane. Alright. Well, we can't let that go to waste. We definitely need to take advantage of that. For now, we are going to Nest Ball, and I'm going to take out the Fez for when they inevitably take a KO next turn. If we whiff the, start Chronos play, it'll just be nice to have. And now I'm going to Pokégear and hope for Research, and that's exactly what we're going to get. Okay. Do I bench another Duraludon? Who else would I use? I guess I could put a Relicanth, but if they KO my active, then I'll have room for Relicanth, so it should be fine. Here, we are going to get enough energy in play, in the discard pile, excuse me, to use Archaludon, and we're actually going to get plenty more. That feels great. Okay, so right now we can Ultra Ball away. I guess Jamming Tower I really don't need. Although I do want to keep the extra energy, maybe, because then I can manual attach one. Use Concealed Cards next turn after Start Chronos. Yeah, that feel pretty good. Okay, we'll get rid of these. And then I'm going to take an Archaludon. I'm going to use Archaludon's ability to take 2 energy from my discard pile. Throw them onto Dialga. And actually, Start Chronos isn't going to take me a KO because I'm not bossing up Rotom. The best I can do is Metal Blast and take a KO on their active. But I feel like this would be the best time for us to start Chronos. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I might as well, right? Because then what could I do here? I could take double boss. Boss kind of just guarantees this game. Let's do that. Take double boss. Actually, I do have another Archaludon in discard. No, I don't. Okay. I forgot it was Dialga V starting Archaludon. So I could Metal Blast, take the KO. I could start Chronos. I feel like if I don't start Chronos here, I'm not going to have an opportunity to start Chronos later. This Dialga is gone. So, although I could look for Cyclone... No, because it's going to get KO'd. Yeah, let me just... Although, how do they attach 2 energy in 1 turn? I don't know if they are. Maybe I do this with this one without Star Chronos. I just Metal Blast, 240. Take a big KO. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's try to keep the Star Chronos. Let's try to be greedy. Take 2 prize cards. I don't know how they get 2 energy set up. I don't. I have no idea. Maybe they get Crispin. Oh my god, if they don't take a KO, we got Scoop Up Cyclone as well. That's insane. And we got Pokégear, so I could Pokégear, look for Boss's Orders, and probably just close out the game that way. They got the Rescue Board on Snow Run. Dialga does not have an ability, so if they put Frostlass down, it's not going to do anything. They need a Radiant Alakazam, and we didn't see their Radiant, did we? I don't think so. They got Boss's Orders to try to stall us up, I'm assuming. Luckily, we got Scoop Up Cyclone. If I can get Boss's Orders, we got Scoop Up Cyclone and Boss's Orders for a game. They're going to instant charge, so we got to go at it. And we got concealed cards too, actually. This is huge. We should be able to clutch this up. All right, so we're going to concealed cards first. Get rid of 2. Or get rid of 2 cards out of the deck. One of them's boss. Never mind. Okay, we're going to Scoop Up Cyclone. The active. Yo, Yoda cooked with this list, I'm not going to lie. We are going to throw that guy down. We're going to take a Night Stretcher. Get out the last energy needed to make sure we're swinging for KO. Although we could have just bossed up Rotom, which I didn't really think about. We're going to take Boss's Orders. Give me the Scovillain, man. Give me the Scovillain. Let me swing for 280. We could have Star Chronos right there, but for what? I guess I could have Star Chronos the Snow Run and then just KO'd the active. But again, it's like, this felt better. This felt a lot better. It's going to wrap it up for an insane match number 2. Let's jump into match number 3 and see if we can go 3-0 with the Yoda's Japanese Championship winning deck list. Welcome to match number 3, where we are 2-0 with Archaludon, which makes me feel amazing. We open up with, honestly, not a great hand now that I actually take a look at it. I'm like, oh, we got Archaludon, Duraludon, and that's, it's gonna be all I got. Who's the best Pokemon to lead into? I guess Duraludon. It's a single prize attacker. If they're playing a Donk deck, we got the best chance at hanging, and they don't. So we're gonna rock with this. Oh man, this doesn't feel great. Okay. Could play Dialga there. I don't even know what's an Ultra Ball away. Everything in our hand is kind of essential. I think here I'm just gonna pass. Like, what do I look for? What do I get rid of? I mean, I could get rid of Double Boss. That kills me. I could get rid of Pokégear. It's my only way out of this brick of a hand. I could get rid of my A-Spec. Don't want to do that, especially against Charizard. I'm going to use that. I am going to be full healing with that A-Spec, so I really want to take advantage of it. And they're just going to pass. They're not going to have the most insane start either. And I guess here we go Pokégear and pray. We get Research. Oh, my God. This is like the world's worst hand to research. We're gonna Ultra Ball, I guess, just thin out what we can. This is pain, and we prized Radiant Greninja. Of course we did. Of course we did. Okay, all right, it's fine. It's fine. It's all good. We could take out their Pidgey if we could somehow get 2 more energy and discard. Losing that Scoop Up Cyclone is the most miserable thing, and we actually cannot get rid of anything. We're not going to be swinging at all. We could Nest Ball here, get a Fezandipiti in case they take a big KO. We could attach an energy and hammer in. It's about the best I got. We're going to lose our final Boss's Orders on the next turn. Oh, this is bad. This is definitely not ideal, especially into a hard matchup like Charizard. This is definitely not what we wanted. But remember the game plan for the beginning of the video. We definitely want to take 2 prizes and then use Star Chronos to take 2 4 prizes and clean up the game. We don't want to give them access to Briar. Even if we have to take a 3 prize turn with Star Chronos, we just want to make sure that we're not leaving them at 2 prizes left and then they could just go Dusknoir and clean up the game. Or Dusknoir Briar and clean up the game that way. We want to make sure we could shut down those. So putting Charizard down to 1 prize card is the best option, honestly, for any deck. I think that's like just generally a good strategy when running against it. And they're going to go Boss's Orders right now, bring up Fezandipiti. That is fine, I guess. I mean, it's not like I could do anything, and they're going to pass. All right, thank gosh, they've got a dead hand too. We get another Duraludon. This time I don't think I'm going to play it. I don't see myself getting full value out of 3 famous last words. I'm going to research and get rid of it and take out a couple energy. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we can Detach Retreat. That's only going to be 1 energy in the discard pile, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Of course we prize Radiant Greninja. You know, actually, I could retreat into Dialga. Actually, no, I could retreat into Duraludon and then Nest Ball. Okay, wait, hear me out. This is the most insane line I've ever taken. I'm not gonna lie. No, we need Relicanth here. Okay, this is a mess. I am actually very upset that this is what we have to do, but surprisingly, it's not the world's worst thing. Pidgeot has 60 health, right? Well, with Relicanth, I can now copy Hammer in for KO. And then next turn, I got the energy. So honestly, like, it's not the end of the world. Next turn, I do have the energy manual attached KO. Right now, we're just gonna Hammer in. That's so funny. This is a mess. This is definitely not how I planned for any of these matches to go. Relicanth for Hammer in for KO, but here we are. That's what we're doing. So next turn, if my opponent actually does get the full evolution, like if they get Rare Candy Charizard, I could go Turo, full heal my Archaludon, and then I can use the other Duraludon to get the energy, manual attach, and keep swinging as normal. I think that's going to be our best route. If they don't, we're actually just going to jump a bit ahead. We're going to go up 2 prizes, which is exactly what I needed to feel comfortable in this match. So I'm not complaining about that. They're just going to pass. Yeah, so we're going to jump a little bit ahead here, which always feels good. And we get Thorton. I kind of love that. Do I need to Night Stretch or anything? I'm not sure. I don't want to Ultra Ball because I don't have 2 cards I could get rid of. I might need both supporters. Definitely don't need Dialga. I could Ultra Ball that. I kind of need the rest of my cards. So for now, I'm going to manual attach the final energy for Metal Defender. And actually, I could Raging Hammer, but I'm going to make sure we got no weakness. Just in case they pull off a Radiant Charizard play, I'd love to live that attack. So I'm just going to swing for KO there, take 1 more out of the prizes, and pray. I was going to say it's Radiant Greninja, but honestly, I will take an Iono. I definitely don't mind getting myself a new hand, although my opponent hasn't done anything. I guess I don't really need a new hand, given my opponent's done absolutely nothing this game too, and I do kind of love just having Turo and Night Stretcher in hand. Those are 2 phenomenally clutch cards against Charizard. But they are nearing KO range. They go Boss's Orders. Never mind. Alright, Turo's going to come in handy right now. It's going to let us go up a 3rd prize card. What I would do to have that Scoop Up Cyclone that's eyeing me down on the bench. And there's the Radiant Charizard that I was talking about. Okay, we're definitely going to go Turo and go Metal Defender here. Just don't want my opponent to breathe. I want to make sure that, you know, I'm getting as ahead as I can against the Charizard deck. I definitely don't mind running them to the ground. That is a match that is generally super hard to navigate. So jumping ahead here feels good. Alright, we get another Iono. So now we got 3 Ionos. I have no words for this match. This whole video is fake, dude. The grass and weakness resistance, and the grass and fire, the weakness resistance effect at once on Archaludon or Dialga was that match. I still have no idea how that math worked. If someone in the comments could let me know which happened first, that would be amazing. But it is too late at night for me to do math. I can't even figure out what I'm talking about half the time right now. And they're gonna go canceling clone. It actually doesn't do anything. Double canceling clone. That's okay, now I'm lost. They Surfer into Charmeleon, which makes sense. They could get a Charizard Evolve attack. That would be the best play. If they don't get the evolution, we should be fine, but no, they're going to pull it off here. Okay. So we've taken 3 prize cards, a Doom plus 90, swinging for 270 damage. If they don't have a tool like Defiance Band to buff that damage, Archaludon's actually living this attack, which is nuts. Yeah, it definitely feels pretty good, actually, now that I think about it. I could even retreat Iono as a potential play, but then if I whiff the energy, I'm going to cry. Or retreat Ultra Ball, get out in Archaludon, which I don't even know if we have one in the deck. Do I do that? I can definitely handle getting rid of an Iono here. We have 3 of them in our hand. I do have one more Archaludon in the deck. Although I really don't need it, though. Like, I think we're fine just swinging here, right? Yeah, I don't really need any of these Pokemon to play. We got a Night Stretcher for another Archaludon if we need. I think, oh, forgot about that Raging Hammer. Yeah, don't mind if I yes. Let's go and wrap it up. It makes it way easier. I was thinking about just Metal Defender and just, you know, dealing with the Charizard next turn. But nope, I forgot a Relicanth Raging Hammer exists. We're taking Charizard by ourselves with Archaludon. and Duraludon, actually. Both of them are going to town on this Charizard player. So they can promote the Radiant Charizard. They can swing for KO on Archaludon. All we have to do is promote Duraludon, evolve into Archaludon, use the ability, get 2 energy onto it, manual attach a 3rd energy. Boom, that's going to wrap it up for match number 3. Unless they play Iono, that would keep them in the game, but no. They promote the Charmander. I've got a feeling my opponent tabbed out. I've got a big feeling my opponent left the game, because there's no reason they should have promoted that. Unless they... Yeah, no, I got nothing, actually. I got nothing. I think my opponent tabbed out. I think we're just going to sit here and have a good last bit of time before my opponent was inactive, which I guess I could use to tell everyone Merry Christmas again. I mean, I had an awesome time with my family today. I did have to take a break from the recording. That's why I got a little darker in the room. I definitely got to move a lamp over here for my next video while I recorded. They're going to Scoop Up Cyclone. They are actually active. But anyways, yeah, no, I had a great time with family. So here I am recording later at night. So I, apologize for the fit change, apologizing for being, I guess, a little more flustered in this back half of the recording. It was just like not a bad day, but a long day. Like, we were out and about. I don't know why I led with a bad day. It was just like long in a good way, but I'm tired. So anyways, enough yapping. There's the KO that they got. So this is going to be the easiest play for us. I did outline it before, so I wouldn't forget. We're just going to promote the Duraludon, draw the card per turn. Come on, game. Let's hurry it up. Let's get it moving. Draw the card per turn. Evolve into Archaludon. Take our 2 energy with Assemble Alloy. Throw them onto our active. And then manual attach the 3rd energy, although we did get our Turo too. We don't need it. We got a lot of things we can do and don't need. We're just going to Metal Defender, wrap it up for a super easy, super straightforward match number 3. And even with a pretty awful hand, we drew into some awful cards. I mean, granted, so did my opponent, but we were able to come out of it fine. And I think, honestly, this deck is not in the worst spot. It's actually, a ton of fun to play. I've been waiting for Archaludon to pop off, and I'm so stoked that someone is able to get a massive tournament win with this deck. I mean, Archaludon, Dialga, 2 of my favorite metal cards ever. I feel like metal cards always are so much fun to play. This deck is no different from any of those, so definitely give it a shot if you haven't played it already. If you want to order the deck, use my TCG player affiliate link in the description down below. And thank you for supporting the channel. For everyone who clicks on that link and orders anything, period, with it. And with that being said, seriously, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone watching this. I for real appreciate all of you. I think the best gift for me is just being a part of this community and being here to have this amazing relationship with my entire community and just feel a part of everyone. So thank you guys so much. With that being said, stay epic, Happy Holidays, peace.